Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Now, yesterday, of course, it was Unai Emery's press conference ahead of the huge game at the weekend when Arsenal are going to be taking on Chelsea. And I'll tell you what, when you look at that game, it's an absolute must-win game for us if we're going to try and get into this top four this season. If we win the game, we can peg Chelsea back to within 3 points. If we lose the game, they go 9 points clear of us. And of course, Man United are breathing down our neck. They got a game against Brighton, which you'd expect them to win that game as well. That would mean that they would move ahead of us as well, and we'd be in sixth place. It would be terrible if we lost that game. So it's a massive game. And inevitably, Unai Emery, as I said yesterday on my show, was going to be asked a lot of questions about transfers, about Ozil, about Mislintat, and he responded. And let's get a look at some of the things he said. On Mesut Ozil, they asked him, will he be leaving in January? Unai Emery's quotes on this one, he said, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about how he can help us. He helps us sometimes this year with good performances and other moments with not good performances, like another player. Other moments, he's had injuries and he's not been okay to play the matches. Now, after these 2 weeks working with normality, maybe this Saturday can be okay for us. So he's sort of implying there, he says can be, he didn't say definitely will be starting, but he is implying that Mesut Ozil will figure in his plans for this game against Chelsea. He has to. Mesut Ozil has to play in this game. And, you know, talking about him leaving in January, he says, I'm not thinking about that. However, the rumours are still around that he could be leaving. You only got to look what David Ornstein's been saying. He's been saying that there's been a lot of truth in the fact that they haven't been getting on and there has been a bit of a bust-up between the two of them and that Arsenal were actively looking to get rid of him. But Ozil, as I've said a million times on the show, doesn't want to go anywhere, wants to stay on huge wages. Why would he want to go anywhere? And they've got to find a way of getting him back into the team. Hopefully, he'll be back in the team this weekend. If he put in a great performance, maybe all these rumours about him leaving might disappear. If he put in a great performance, maybe teams might come in for him. I don't know. But again, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But, you know, basically, it's so hard to call this one. But he should hopefully be back in the team for this weekend. He was also asked about Denis Suarez. This is the one we all want to know about. Will Denis Suarez be joining Arsenal? It's been the hottest link all January. And Unai Emery said this. He said, conversations with us have been very primitive. Of course, he's talking about the conversations between, Arsenal and Barcelona. He said, I don't want to say to you, this is private conversations with the club. Conversations with us have been very primitive. I don't want to say to you this private conversations with the club. Of course, you know, Unai Emery in his Spanish there, or in his broken English, should I say, still trying to get to grasp completely with the English language, but he gets better every week. Primitive, I think what he's saying there is that nothing's close yet. It's still up in the air. We're still trying to negotiate it. And he doesn't really want to talk about it. He wants to keep it private, which is completely understandable. The negotiations for this are going on. I do think this is a deal that's going to get completed this month. I'll be very surprised if Denis Suarez doesn't join Arsenal, but they need to get it done quick. You know, time is running out. Could they get it done in time for that game against Manchester United next week? I mean, that would be a great boost to see somebody like him coming off the bench to a roar from the crowd. But Denis Suarez is said to be close. And also there's said to be a breakthrough in that Barcelona apparently are willing now to do the loan to the end of the season and with the option to buy. And that option would only be £14 million, which would actually be a steal if they could get him on loan till the end of the season and then pay £14 million for him on a permanent deal. You'd have to say that is a very, very good deal for Arsenal. But again, let's wait and see how this one pans out. Some fans went into a frenzy yesterday when, I don't know how these fans managed to do this, but Denis Suarez's girlfriend was actually in London. She took a picture on her Instagram And these Arsenal fans, they're brilliant. They spotted the location that she was in London, and a lot of them were starting to put two and two together and say that he's definitely joining. Listen, it's not as simple as that. She's going to be in London for anything, but that continues to be the biggest rumour of this transfer window. What about the Sven Mislintat situation? Of course, Unai Emery was asked about that. And on the Mislintat situation, as I searched to find the exact comment, he says, I was working with him the last 2 weeks. We had 2 or 3 meetings together. We're working normally. I don't know other issues. I don't know if he's leaving. My relationship about transfers is we've been speaking about that for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So basically Unai Emery, and we've heard rumours that Unai Emery, there's no problem between him and Sven Mislintat. And he's saying basically there, I don't know if he's leaving. He's not heard that. Very skillful answer, you know, just to say, I don't know if he's leaving. I mean, go and ask him kind of thing, you know what I mean? So nothing really clear on that. It's still a bit unsure whether Sven Mislintat will be staying or not. Again, David Ornstein yesterday on it was saying that, you know, there has been definite problems with Sven Mislintat and Raul Sanelli, and Mislintat is looking to leave. And again, I think he will leave, but it'll probably be at the end of the January transfer window. A lot of people leaving at the moment, but nobody coming in. Arsenal linked today with Hervin Lozano. Now, this is a very good player. Mexican international, was brilliant in the World Cup. Plays for PSV Eindhoven, 23 years of age. Arsenal have been looking at him very closely. It brings a lot of skill, would bring a lot of pace and trickery down the wings. And Arsenal said to be very interested in him. Probably more than likely to be more of a summer deal than a January deal. Well, it definitely will be, because PSV at the moment are valuing him around about £35 million, and Arsenal haven't even got £35, let alone 35 million to spend in the transfer market this January. So it probably would be more of a summer deal, but Arsenal being heavily linked with him. I'd love to see a player like that at Arsenal. There are, however, other clubs looking at him as well. Inevitably, Chelsea said to be one of them. Barcelona said to be interested in him as well. I don't know where you're going to put all these wingers at Barcelona. Aaron Ramsey, now the rumours are coming out of Italy that the deal has been done, that he's signed a new deal, done his medical, completed his medical, and has signed a new deal with Juventus, which will earn him £200,000 a week. Hence, you see one of the reasons why Arsenal are trying to get him off the wage bill. Of course, the reason why he's going to be getting so much more wages probably than what even Arsenal would have offered him is the fact that it's a great deal for Juventus. They're able to sign him for nothing. There's no transfer fee for him. So this is where players have a lot of power when they're in the last year of their contract. So there's no transfer fee for him. So they can transfer a lot of the money that they were going to use on that fee and say to him, you know, we'll give you more in wages than you would have probably have got had there been a transfer. So a great deal for Aaron Ramsey if this is true. He'll start playing for Juventus come the end of May. And yeah, it's a great deal for him. Champions League football, playing for one of the best teams in the world. Great deal. In the meantime, though, he'll be an Arsenal player. And I was having this little argument with DT yesterday on the podcast, and I was saying, listen, if he stays, he's been professional in the time that he's been at Arsenal, we have to play him and play him regularly because he's still a top player. Not because he's leaving, we shouldn't play him. You know, he's been very professional in it, so play him. You know, but it's not like we're trying to force him out or anything. We forced him out, and he's still willing to play his best. So let's play him. Arsenal continue today to be linked with Marcus Thuram. I spoke about it a couple of days ago. He is the son of the great Lilian Thuram, French international World Cup winner. He scored, Marcus, 7 goals in 15 appearances, 21-year-old striker, plays for Guingamp over there in France for Ligue 1. And Arsenal said to be very, very interested in continuing to look at him. He looks like a typical Sven Mislintat signing, a sort of unearthed gem type signing. But again, let's see how that one works out. And also finally linked with a player who plays for Leeds United called Jack Clarke. Jack Clarke's a winger, He's only 18. He's been really, really impressive this season in the Championship for Leeds under Bielsa. And Arsenal said to be very interested. There are quite a lot of other clubs looking at him as well. But Arsenal said to have let Leeds know that they're interested in him. Now, there seems to be a bit of an impasse between Jack Clarke's people and Leeds United because they want to get a new deal done for Jack Clarke. Leeds are saying, listen, wait until the end of the season, let's see what happens, and then we'll do that, which is probably quite sensible by them. Of course, they're pushing for promotion. And this could be an opportunity for Arsenal to get in there and get Jack Clarke. He's a young player, a very good winger, and get him into Arsenal. Again, more than likely, summer moves, who knows? But let's keep an eye on that one and see how that one develops over the next couple of weeks. Thanks for watching the show today. Of course, it's the big one. Arsenal against Chelsea tomorrow. It's good to be back home at the Emirates, I'll tell you that. I'm looking forward to the game. And as I said, it's a must win. And don't forget, coming back to your screens next week is the Real Football Fan Show. It's going to be a brilliant, brilliant show on Channel 4, midnight. On Friday, we've got a special guest in the studio, Ian Wright. That's going to be brilliant. Tamer Hassan from the Real Football Factory. You don't want to miss that show next week. My show on Channel 4. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow.